Hello, Pre-K4 friends. Today, Miss Maria will read a Caillou story, and the title is The Magic of Compost by Sarah Margaret Johansson. Caillou loves spending the day with his grandma. "Grandma, look! I'm a magician! Abracadabra!" Caillou said. He really wanted to be a magician and do amazing magic tricks. "Do you think you can make a lunch disappear?" Grandma asked. "Oh, yes," Caillou answered. Do you think he could? I bet you could be a magician making lunch disappear. After lunch, Grandma dropped the banana peel into a small bucket beside the door. Caillou was curious, so he looked in the bucket. "Is that your garbage can?" Caillou asked. "No, it's not," Grandma replied. Caillou made a face. "But it's all gushy and yucky." "I need it for my garden," Grandma explained. "Your garden?" Caillou asked. "Come, I'll show you," Grandma said. Grandma took the bucket outside and went to a large barrel. She took the lid off and dumped the contents of the bucket inside. "Is that a garbage can?" Caillou asked. "Nope, it's a composter," Grandma explained. "I put in food scraps like fruit and vegetables, but no meat or dairy. That means no cheese or milk. I put all the leaves, grass clipping, and weeds in here too, and add a little water," Grandma explained. "It must be really yucky in there," Caillou said. "Ah, but that's the surprising thing. Inside this composter of all the messy, yucky stuff turns into something completely different," Grandma explained. "Like a magic trick?" Caillou asked, amazed. "Yes, it is rather like a magic trick. Would you like to see what it turns into?" Grandma asked. "Yes, please." Grandma pulled up a small panel at the bottom. Caillou leaned in closer to see black dirt spilling out. "It's dirt! Did all that stuff turn into dirt?" Caillou asked. "It's not dirt. It's called compost, and it takes weeks and weeks to happen." "A composter makes compost," Caillou said. Grandma shoveled some compost into a wheelbarrow and took it to a flower bed. "That's right. Compost is nice, rich soil that helps my plants grow," Grandma explained. "Wow, that's the best magic trick ever." Caillou was impressed. So did you see what happened? It went from her house into the bin outside. She took it from there in the wheelbarrow, and now she's gonna feed it to her garden. As soon as he got home, Caillou went to the kitchen cupboards and pulled out a plastic container. After supper, he put the dinner scraps into the container: potato skins, bread crusts, and corn. But no cheese, that's dairy. "Caillou, what are you up to?" Mommy asked. "I'm going to show you the best magic trick ever," he said. "I'm going to change all of this yucky stuff into plant food, but we need to get a composter." Daddy got a nice large composter. Every time Daddy cuts the grass, he put the clippings into the composter. Caillou put Mommy's tea bags and his apple cores into the composter. Every day, something was added to the composter. Caillou looked inside week after week, but everything looked the same. He started to think his magic trick wasn't working. Caillou waited a whole month. It seemed like days and days, but the wait was finally over. "Come on, everybody," Caillou called. He was excited to show everyone his big magic trick. He reached the composter and waited while everyone gathered around. Caillou was a little worried. What if it didn't work? Caillou got his courage up and put on his show. "It's time for the best magic trick ever, turning food and grass and leaves and water into compost." "That's plant food," Caillou said. He turned to the composter and waved his hands. "Abracadabra, compost!" Caillou kneeled and put his hands on the bottom panel. Everyone leaned close. Caillou pulled the panel aside, and a small amount of black compost spilled out. Caillou grinned from ear to ear. "Ta-da!" Caillou yelled. "How wonderful!" Mommy applauded. Hooray! Daddy cheered. For my next trick, I'm going to use my new compost to grow flowers, Caillou said. The end.